we've got to go back to those days before the automobile to understand this property, because originally I said to myself, why is it, since this is such a lovely waterfront location, that the house is built facing the road? Well, just think, down at the end of the road, it wasn't super private and quiet with a fence across it the way it is now. Well, to begin with, the road wasn't even paved. There were horses and buggies and people walking, and they would walk down to the wharf to meet the steamboat. Now, in those days, before the automobile, waterways were the main ways that people got around. In fact, the East River, which this property is on, was once like a super highway. Everybody owned a boat, a sailboat, a rowboat, a canoe. If they were going to go somewhere, they went on a boat. Yes, they had the horse and buggy, but if they were going a distance, say farmers would come down this road and they would bring their carrots or potatoes or whatever they were selling, and the steamboat might take it up to Washington, D.C. or some other population center where people were not farmers and needed food to eat. The other interesting thing about this wharf here is that it had a Hicks Wharf post office. And you know, in those days, post offices were not the kind they are now. They had general delivery. And if you watch, say, a Western or something, you'll see in the post office, people are sitting around. And when people go into the post office to get their mail, the postmaster or mistress knows the person, because only a few people live in the area, as it was here. And they'll say, "Oh, Mrs. Davis, I see we've got some mail for you." So originally I asked, why was this house facing the road and not the water? Well, it's because when people came by here, either to drop their produce off, or if they were going to go shopping, say in a major center like Norfolk, then they would take the steamboat and go to the city to go shopping for clothes or something else. So the house faced the road because this was where all the action was. Nowadays, it's like this super quiet spot, but at one time, the steamboat must have docked, I don't know, daily, or it had some kind of schedule. And on those days, things here were really interesting and exciting. So you could sit on the porch here and see who was going by, wave to your friends. Maybe if your friends had to wait for a while, they'd come up on the porch